Guys, it finally happened after 6 months of hustling. We have a job! What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the vlog. My name is Zendero Ganga. I am a business journalist and a vlogger. So if you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you're returning savvy, welcome back to the farm. If you haven't subscribed, by the way, take a second, scroll down below. You see that red button, hit subscribe. It's good for my numbers. I mean, I want to start making a little bit of money here and there out of leveraging the brand that we're building. Anyway, that's outside the point. I came to Ghana in July, 4th of July, and it has been a roller coaster of emotions. When I was coming to Ghana, my financial advisor and I sat down. If you're watching the channel, then you've probably followed how I came here, the planning process and everything. And Susan and I had just said, this is the amount of money that you're going to use for your relocation, and it can last you at least 2 years. In 2 years, we hope that your YouTube channel would have picked up, because when you're planning for these things, you never plan saying, oh, I'll get a job, because sometimes you won't get a job. And I came here and things were a little bit slow. It's obvious that COVID had taken a hit on every economy in the world, and media is one of those industries that was hit because businesses were holding on to advertising revenue. And if businesses are holding on to advertising revenue, then it means media houses do not have money, so they're struggling to even pay their staff, and it's across the world. So it means they're not going to onboard new people. So I just said, it's okay. Either way, we had a plan. We are going to work on YouTube, and in 2 years, I mean, I would have exhausted my savings, but I would have learned tips and tricks of how to make money here and there, how to leverage my skills as a journalist, not necessarily in a media house, but also just being in the streets. So you feel me? Like, I was just like, I'm going to be in the streets, shade my suits and just wear jeans and t-shirts and hustle like the African and like the badass that I am. We came to Accra, began doing YouTube. Hey, let me tell you, one day I will find some creators, maybe Stella Chanelli and Ola Jumoke, and we come here and just tell you how difficult it is to make money on YouTube. Hey, it's not easy. It's not easy. Let nobody lie to you. We were not making, like, it took, I think, a month before I was monetized, and then the first month it was slow. And I would sit like this and ask myself, is this the YouTube that is my backup plan? And I said, you know what? I get it. I'm in a foreign country, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm a journalist. And a good journalist is that. I am an award-winning journalist in Kenya. And Kenya is one of those super competitive journalism markets. So if you were able to deliver there, I mean, you can come here and you can deliver, you can learn. The key is, was I open enough to learn? And I said, you know what? It's okay, let me just give it a shot. What's the worst that could happen? They're gonna say no. So I reached out to several people, and this, in 2019 when I was in Ghana, I had done a rec. Okay. So I had come and spoken to various people, various television networks here in Ghana, but all of them were like, unless you live here, unless you give us confirmation that you're coming to permanently live here, we cannot get into a serious conversation with you, because either way you're still going back to Kenya, so we could get invested in you, and then you say, I just decided I don't want the job anymore, which takes them like 5 steps behind from where they were, you know, after you've done the whole interviewing process. So I reached back out to all these people and I said, hey, you know what? I'm back in Accra. I live here now. I am working on YouTube, making content, staying true to the craft. I'm keeping my skills active. And I mean, if you're open to it, then we could do some work together. Now, I think my advantage is I'm a business journalist, and you don't find many of them. Like, there aren't many business journalists, and also many standout business journalists, you know. There are very many health reporters, environment reporters, politics, but when you're a niche reporter, and also like in business is very segregated. So what aspects of the business journalism do you know? And for me, I think I am very lucky that I've picked sectors that are budding in the continent, things like real estate, fintech, agriculture, entrepreneurship, extractives, you know, the stock market, which just gives you an edge. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. So I was just like, and here on YouTube, because I've watched some of my stories and some of my interviews, and in the comment section, say, oh, good story, great interview. So I just said, you know what? You're a journalist and you're good, so why are you doubting yourself? I shoot my shot to everybody that was willing to give me an audience, and luckily enough, 2 people came through and we began having a conversation. So the first one that I met, the first person that I met, like the first TV that I went to, I liked the leadership there. The person who I spoke to, I think, was one of the heads, and super brilliant person, super smart, very visionary. And I was like, okay, they've traveled the world, they've worked in different markets, so it was easy for them to integrate me into the system and understand me and accommodate me. But as things would happen, that was still in like July, by the way, it was the first month. I was like, okay, let's see how it goes. I was supposed to start work in August, but where my ancestors followed me and found me, the day I was supposed to go sign a contract, they just pulled it off the table, and HR said that then they've put a freeze on hiring. Guys, I walked in a crack crying that day. I was just like, why? I was so close. Like, I was going to sign a contract today. Why? Why did this have to happen? And I remember, like, my younger sister was talking to me on phone and just saying, just relax, breathe, chill. If it wasn't for you, it wasn't for you. You're doing your stuff on YouTube. Focus on that. Put your effort on that. If another job comes, fine. And I would come here on YouTube and you guys are like, get a job, like try and hustle, like you could find something. But in essence, my heart has just been shattered into 1,000,001 pieces. And after that experience, I decided I wasn't going to look. I wasn't going to hustle. I was just going to focus on YouTube. I was going to wake up, edit, wake up, work. The only problem was to get your permits, to stay here, to open a bank account, to do most of these things, to buy health insurance. You need a job, particularly if you're not Ghanaian or you're not of Ghanaian descent. You need a job so you can get your residence permit, visa plus work permit, so you can get all these other services. So in as much as my heart was broken and I didn't want to look for a job, I had to. Like, I really had to, because I needed a bank account. I need to pay people, I need to take care of things, but I can't do transactions because I have to do it via ATM. So if you need to do a big transaction, then that means that you have to do it over 24 hours. Like, I go withdraw some money, then wait 24 hours, then withdraw some more money, which was really hectic, So I was just like, now I'm gonna look for a job, but no pressure. I get it. Like, I could always go back home. I think that's the one thing that I told myself. Like, you could always go back home. It's not do or die. And at the end of the day, you came here, you've had a good experience, you've learned how to be independent, depend on people. You've seen a different side of people. I saw a different side of myself. I never thought I was capable of taking care of myself, surviving away from my family, just hustling when nothing is certain. Like, when I came to Ghana, nothing was certain. My whole life had been turned upside down and I was starting from scratch. And the thing is, I've been building brick by brick. Even if I don't see it, the truth of the matter is, I've been building brick by brick and I might not see it now, but I know like 2 or 3 years I will look back and I say, you did well for yourself, So I began talking to people again, but this time no pressure. At the end of the day, I can go back home, right? And one deal came through. Yes, one deal came through with the TV station, and I was just like, okay. And then they were like, we'll hire you. I went through an interview process, and let me tell you something, I hate interviews. You know why? Because I really doubt myself. I suffer from crazy imposter syndrome, where on paper, like on my CV, I can state all the things that I've done because it's me who did them. And then now when it comes to defending myself, I feel like I'm lying. I feel like, why are you overhyping yourself? But in essence, I'm not overhyping myself. I'm the one who did all those things. So I was so scared, and I was just like, oh shoot. But The people who did the interview were really nice. It was so cool. I had read, you guys, I read everything about the Ghanaian economy. I went, it was here, A to Z, eh? How Ghana's GDP was 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. I knew that. I knew debt versus GDP ratio. I knew like real estate trends. I knew extractive trends. I knew cost of gold. I knew cocoa. I went in there, all facts at the back of my hand. And this is a trick I use. Overwhelm the person who's interviewing you with. Like, if they can feel like you know, they won't push. If they feel like you don't know, they will push. So a trick, I always try to go in knowing my stuff so that you don't push. Because sometimes if they push, I get scared, I panic, you know, and then it gets ugly. I am unable to breathe and all that stuff. So I did my research, went for my interview, and they were like, okay, we'll hire you. I was like, child, okay. But it took like a month for the contract to be processed. So I was like, what's happening? And guys, remember, already I was supposed to sign another contract that was pulled off the table. So I'm going in a little bit hesitant. I'm like, what if they change their mind? What if? And I'm like, last time I was so close. So it happened to me again. And I was just like, you know what? It's okay. The thing that how I survived the last 6 months is I would ask myself, what can you do today? I can edit. I edit. That's it. What can I do today? I can shoot. I go, I shoot, I come back home. Whatever I can't handle, I wasn't going to stress about it. And every time I try stressing, I'd be like, but what can you do about it besides stressing? Nothing. So why the hell are you stressing about it? You know, I have this crazy, I'm afraid to fail. But the older I grow, the more I'm learning I will fail. Terribly at some things, I will fail. And failure is not tragic. Refusing to try again is what's tragic, you know. And I was like, okay. So I waited, the month ended, and I was just like, oh God, come on, please, just come through for me. Universe, my ancestors, come through for me. I think it was on a Saturday or Sunday, I was going to shoot with the author of The Sex Lives of African Women. And I was texted and they said, hey, your contract is ready. I was like, yeah, finally. So they were like, you can come pick it up. The day that I was supposed to go pick it up, they said, we have a meeting, so you can't come pick it up today. I was like, do they want to cancel again? And I was just like, you know what, it's okay, just chill. If they cancel, they cancel. If they don't, they don't. Inside you say, kama ni yangu, ni yangu. If it's mine, it's mine. If it's not mine, it's not mine. I went to Kokomlemle for an interview. And then when I was coming back, they said, oh, you can come pick your contract. Child, I was celebrating. Like, I called my younger sister. Shout out to my younger sister, by the way. She is my younger sister, but she's been so rock solid for me. And initially I used to find it embarrassing because you're the older sibling, you're supposed to be. Now I'm just super grateful that I have a sibling who understands me and is so emotionally mature, and she has the skills from school, what she studied, to be able to support me emotionally through this journey. I call her to like, hey, I got my contract. And she's like, yeah, but I was about to start stressing again. Immigration, processing my permits. She was like, no, that's tomorrow's problem. That is tomorrow's problem. Don't stress about it, okay? Do not stress about it. That is tomorrow's hustle. So I was like, okay. So I celebrated getting my contract. Probably I went and ate chips and chicken, which is my comfort food. And then the struggle with immigration began. Let me tell you, it's been the longest 7 weeks of my life. And immigration was so swift, so smooth, so efficient, because it takes 7 weeks. But because I was like scared that if I don't get my permits as quickly as possible, I will lose the contract, or I don't know, I was just scared. So waiting every day, a day felt like a year, you know? And it was just stressing me and eating me up every day. It stole my joy. And I was just like, these people are gonna pull off the contract. Again, my imposter syndrome, feeling like I'm not good enough. Those people wanted to hire you, like, you're good, why are you stressing? And after, I think 5 weeks, I got a call from immigration, permit ready. Permit ready, you guys. Best day of my life. I went and got my papers, got back my passport. I'd missed my passport. And I was just like, yes. And I began work on the 1st of December. And honestly, it's just been a very amazing experience, me going back to the newsroom. And guys, I am like at not necessarily managerial role, but managerial role. Does it make sense? Like a manager team, like I have a team. I know, it's crazy, because even the previous contract that was pulled off the table did offer that, but I was like, I don't think I want to lead a team. I just want to come in, lay low, do my job, go home. And even when I joined my current workplace, I was a little bit hesitant, but I've come to realize that I like it. And it's not necessarily me who's shining, which is contrary to what I was doing in Nairobi, because my skills and my talent would just, now I have to shine through people. Like if my team looks good, then I look good to me. Nobody cares that you're the one behind it. But I'm finding so much joy and satisfaction in knowing that I am building a team, beating talent, and I can be able to look at people on my team and say, this is good for you, this is good for you, and seeing them being able to just grow and thrive and get out of their comfort zone and embrace the little bits and pieces that I'm introducing, and them also teaching me how things are done here. Like, it's so amazing. Though I must tell you, I was a little bit jealous, just a little bit, because we built something and everybody was like, oh my God, it's so good, it's so good. And I was like, why isn't anybody giving you credit? And then I realized nobody will ever give you credit if you're in leadership role. And I think for me, that's okay. I'm okay with it, because to be able to teach people, you have to learn. So I'm constantly learning from my team and teaching myself so that I can keep leading, you know. And for me, the most important thing is, can I lead with kindness? If you've worked in a newsroom, you know, it can be a very toxic place. There's a lot of bullying, I just want to be very kind to my team, you know. I can be firm and still be kind. I can be respectful. I don't want people to be shedding tears because of me in a newsroom, because I've cried because of people in a newsroom. I've been bullied. I've been talked down to. I've been made to feel like my good wasn't good enough, and I'm not going to be that kind of person. Every day I purpose to go to the newsroom and build up my team and make them feel like individually their talent is the best thing that has ever happened to them, and they can always grow. When their mistakes, correct people with kindness. When they do good, celebrate. Like, if somebody gives me a good script, hey, I'll sing about it the whole day, because people need to just feel like they count and they matter. So that is the story of how I got my job. Note, if you've stuck around till this far, I didn't say the name of the station. You have to stick around to find out, but feel free to guess in the comment section down below. Which TV station do you think I am joining? Okay, here's the tip. It's not Adam and it's not UTV, because I don't speak Twi and Gar, but guess down below. I'll see you guys in the next vlog. If you want me to do like a day in my life or my first day going on air, comment down below. Can you get, I'm so happy talking about this. I want to also say thank you for being here, for supporting me, for pushing me, for reminding me that I am good enough to be on YouTube and still good enough to be on TV. It means a lot. The support means a lot, and I wouldn't have done this without you guys. So thank you for watching. This could probably be the second last video of the year. I'll see you again on Saturday, but beyond that, thank you for everything that you've done for me, the support, the love, the kindness throughout this year. It means a lot.